podcast off really strong. I just went to put on some deodorant. What do you mean? Okay, fixed it. What the hell? Okay. Alright. No, yeah. I'm not frustrated at all. At all. You know when you have one of those days where like literally everything keeps going wrong? Yeah. Yeah. That's my day today. Literally, what the fuck? I've had my last straw at least 6 times today. Like, what the fuck is in the air? Is it a full moon again? Like, what's going on? Anyways, hi guys, welcome back to my podcast. This is episode 2 of Chaotic, and we're starting off chaotic. Speaking of last straws, I ordered Chick-fil-A. We're gonna have a little mukbang moment, okay, because I haven't eaten dinner yet. It's 9:30. I'm feeling a little messy. It's Saturday night. This is what hot girls do on Saturday nights, is order food and have a chill night, and that's what I'm doing. But speaking of last straws, they didn't give me a straw with my drink. I got one, but just that's another thing on top of everything else that's just been happening today. And it's been a hot minute since my first episode. It's been a month. I just want to say I'm sorry. November, first of all, went by way too fucking fast, and second, was so stressful all over the place, and I'll get into that obviously in this episode. But girl, November put me through the ringer, which is why I didn't post an episode in 4 weeks. And I was kind of thinking, I'm like, do I want this to be an every week thing, an every 2 weeks thing, an every month thing, and just see how that goes first? Still don't really know. I think I'm just honestly just gonna fucking wing it. Like, I'm like, whatever happens at this point happens with it, okay? Because we'll just see how it goes. But anyways, have some Chick-fil-A here. Please don't cancel me, don't come for me. This is one of actually the only like restaurants I can tolerate. Like, I don't know why, just how it is. Like, I handle it fine with my MCAS. If you don't know what that is, like a multi-systemic autoimmune kind of condition that I have, and sometimes I react to foods, products, fragrances. Like, it's no fun, and it's really limited to how much I can eat. But I do also have these are called digestive enzymes. I take these with every meal because they help me have a little bit more freedom with food, and like, if not completely minimize any reactions I have to foods. So that's why I'm able to eat this. And even before I started taking these, this was one of the only things I could stomach and eat without feeling like shit. I don't know why. Also with my POTS, another condition I have, salt helps. So like, lots of sodium is in these little bags. So that's what we're eating for this mukbang podcast moment. My back is killing me. Like, I'm not even gonna sit here and pretend it's not, because it is, and it hurts. It hurts really bad. But anyways, I'm gonna catch you guys up on what I've been up to, what's been going on in my life, and why November was so chaotic, and also just a lot of other things that's been on my mind. I wanted to talk about what I'm gonna talk about today on a lot of my platforms, and Instagram and TikTok like to mess with me and are taking my ability to post on my story and repost stuff away because of how much I've been reposting and sharing about it. And it's really getting on my last nerve because I can't even, like, most days I spend in bed, like when I have really low spoons, I don't have this energy I have right now to make videos about it myself. So I repost, like, share links, call my reps, everything I can, but the rest of it I can't do anymore because Instagram and TikTok are being fucking rude to me. But anyways, we're gonna start off taking these so I can eat and put food in my tum-tum and then go to bed, because like I said, it's 9:30. I'm so out of it. Even though I didn't do much today, my sleeping schedule absolutely fucked. Oh, I didn't mention this either. Well, in my last video I talk about it. I look different. My hair looks different now. Whatever, like, I know I've already said it like 5,000 times. You get it by now, but if you haven't seen it yet, this is a reveal. I just straightened it so my bangs look kind of crazy. I did makeup and stuff for this because I didn't want you to see me in my feral rat zombie like state, which is underneath all this. Yeah, That's my real form. That's my true form. I am a catfish. Like, I'm not gonna sit around and pretend like I'm not. Like, I am self-aware. Painfully self-aware. Anyways. Cheers! That one almost got stuck. Oh my god. Oh my god. There's one of them, the third one I took, that tastes like pussy. Like, it tastes absolutely disgusting, and I have to, like, try and keep it down, you know? I'm not even, like, it's weird, I'm, like, hungry but not. Like I said, my sleep schedule's been off, so my eating schedule has been off because my insomnia and my ADHD are out of control. My pain this past week, also out of control. Like, and I feel like I can't even rate it anymore. I don't know, I feel like a lot of people with chronic pain feel this way. Like, when a doctor asked me to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm like, it's supposed to be below 10? Like, what? And I can understand how people, like, look at me and they're like, there's no way she's in a, like, 8, 9, 10 level of pain. I just learned to live with it, like, just to function with it. It's sad to me that it's that way, but that's just how it is until I can find, like, the right pain management doctor, whatever the fuck it is that I need. But, yeah, I don't know. I've, like, been going through it. I've had so many meltdowns this past month. So many tears, so much emotional turmoil, and just, like, sadness, mainly due to the current events happening in the world. I feel like I have to be careful with my words because I've already been, like, basically, like, penalized, is that the right word? Like, punished for posting what I have already, or just reposting what I have already, and, like, now I have this, like, wall up. I'm like, let me not say, like, let me not get too graphic with what I'm talking about, but also, like, that's just the truth of it. It is graphic. I feel like not using the right, like, words takes away from the urgency of the situation, and I'm like, this is fucking urgent. Like, and I need my sweatshirt because I can't just sit here in this top like this. One thing about me, I've learned how to become an acrobat, and I've gotten quite innovative with how I grab things because getting up from my bed makes my heart go boom, boom, boom. So you could say I'm, like, innovative or something. No, just kidding. That's a fucking lie. What I was saying was, it's so urgent. If you can't figure out what I'm talking about already, I'm talking about Palestine and how this has been going on. We're going on 2 months in 5 days. Still no ceasefire. I've tried to, like, film this actually so many times, just talking about the situation, and every time I can't help but get, like, choked up and just, like, want to fucking scream because of how devastating it is and how disappointing it is that, like, our reps and our government does not give a fuck. Like, but it also doesn't surprise me at the same time because I'm like, yeah, y'all fucking suck. Like, I already knew that. But holy shit, like, when is it gonna end? When? I just can't, it's not that I can't bear to witness it anymore, because I feel bad even saying that, because I'm like, well, imagine how the people feel in Gaza. Like, imagine how they must feel. I can't even begin to express how heartbreaking that is and how terrified they must feel. And it's like, it's not even like this has been going on for a week or a couple weeks, you know. I didn't know it was happening until I think the 3rd week of October, and once I realized, I was uneducated at first and I, like, tried to post about it, and then I realized, oh shit, like, no, I was in the wrong. And then I started educating myself more, and I was like, oh my god, like, this is really, it's pure evil. It is just unfathomable to me how people can see that and just be like, either say it's justifiable because bitch, let me just eat my soup, because I'm like, I'm trying not to get too riled up, because my heart rate will go insane if I get too angry upset about this, but it's like I can't help but be upset about it. And I feel like people are so quick to label people who stand for Palestine and call them, I don't know if I can say these words on here, but I'll put them on the screen. When you can stand for Palestine and not be those things. Like, I stand for Palestine and I'm not those things at all. It's not, like, Jewish people don't deserve to be oppressed because of what is happening. Unless they are openly those things, right? Or they're, it varies, but there are so many people who are so hateful just for, like, saying Free Palestine. And it's like, just say you're uneducated. Just say you're those ists or icks and go. Like, I'm at a point where I don't even want to fucking hear it. I don't want to hear it. Okay? Respectfully, I don't want to fucking hear it. And there are so many nights where I've just, like, cried in my mom's arms, like, talking to her about it, because once I saw it and I became aware and educated of what was happening, I couldn't look away. I couldn't stop. I felt so guilty. I still do. For even, like, having food to eat, having a roof over my head, having a family in my house that I love and live with. I don't think people realize how privileged they really are. And even with all of that, I still face my own oppressions, right? Being a disabled person, being a chronically ill person, being a woman. Like, you know, I feel like everyone faces some sort of oppression in some way. Besides those white people that are like, oh my god, you're being racist to a white person. Actually, shut up. Like, actually, stop talking. But other than that, like, we all have our struggles, and I think people just need to be more grateful for what they have. And oh my god, I sound like so annoying saying that, but it's so true. Like, even before all of that started happening in Gaza, you know, I have my own struggles at home with my family. I feel very isolated and alienated, and my therapist knows. Okay, my therapist knows. And because of my frustration with that, I would think to myself, like, oh my god, I don't want to live here anymore. I would rather, like, I would even think to myself sometimes when it got really bad, like, I would rather be homeless than live here. And I'm not gonna lie, well, no, I don't think that anymore. I just think I would rather, like, move out and worry about having to work a job, even though I barely can, and paying rent, than deal with what I deal with at home. Sometimes I still think that, especially this past month, because I thought I was going to be moving and then I wasn't, and I'll explain more of that later. But yeah, I was just kind of like, just be more grateful for what you have, for fuck's sake. Like, it was a eye-opening moment for me too, a big, like, realization for me, like, oh, okay, let me stop complaining, because like, please, let me stop. Like, yeah, I have my struggles, yeah, my life sucks sometimes, but it's nothing compared to what they're going through. And I remember crying in my mom's arms, just, like, about the pure horror of it all, of how they must feel, how I feel watching it, and thinking to myself, I feel like people don't understand that the issue in Palestine is connected to so many other issues and social justices, disability justice. The pandemic is still ongoing, racial justice, like, so many other issues that are embedded and connected to it. And like, I was telling my mom, this is gonna sound annoying, but I am an empath, okay? And the first thing one of the first things I find myself thinking or doing when I see these kind of tragedies, especially this one, was thinking, like, I put myself in their shoes. And I try as hard as I can to view it from their lens, even though I never will be able to 100% match it, right? I still try to. And I think also because I don't get that in real life from anyone, but that's what I was doing. And then I thought to myself, if I was there, or any of my disabled friends were there, and I could think about a couple in particular, they would not make it. Like, there's absolutely no way they would have made it. And just, like, sobbing to my mom, it's been very, I have so many emotions. And I feel bad even saying that, like, it's emotionally exhausting to witness, but it is. It's like, how much longer is this gonna go on? It's been going on, I think we're on day 56 or 57? 57. Today is day 57. We've been going on 57 days too fucking long. And I know I seem so fucking privileged because I'm eating Chick-fil-A in my bed, like in my safe room. You know, I'm a white person. I'm aware of my white privilege, okay? Like, you're probably like, girl, shut the fuck up. You don't know struggle. And I do. But I don't blame you for thinking that because I know how it looks. I have to sit back because holy fuck, my back is killing me. But all of that has been really fucking me up, and not only just Palestine but Congo and Sudan and all the other places I'm still trying to educate myself on. I will leave as many resources as I possibly can down below, and it feels really hard to move on from that. And before I filmed this, I was like, do I talk about it last or first? Like, I genuinely don't know. I feel like I just had to get that out of the way now first, because their lives matter. They deserve to live. No one, absolutely no one, deserves this kind of trauma and massacre and racism and just pure evil. No one. Yeah, it's just like I can't stop thinking about it. Anytime I'm doing anything, it's in the back of my mind, in the front of my mind, constantly spinning around up there. And it's also been very eye-opening. And this is something I also thought was important to talk about, to elaborate on, is the way influencers are responding, or the media has been responding, because TikTok and Instagram and Twitter, like, the responses I've seen on there are great, right? Especially in the beginning, like beginning of November. But now all the platforms are trying to like silence it, and it really fucking aggravates me. So not only that, but how influencers, the way they're responding, in particular Brittany Broski, I was like, I'm disappointed. And if you don't know what I'm referring to, I'll enter the TikToks.
If you can, why don't you? If you have a platform and you have people's ear, you have their attention, how dare you not? How dare you not sing about things that matter? How dare you not show things that are hard to watch for some people and hard to embrace for more people? How dare you not do that? It is a responsibility that you have.
Just when I thought white creators couldn't be more out of touch, Brittany Broski, of all people on the internet, has decided to share how she feels about the Palestinian genocide on her close friend's story, not thinking that people would see it. Basically, a little background, Brittany Broski does like a weekly podcast, and she's just like going about her podcast as if Palestine isn't like burning and thousands aren't dying. And so people were getting validly upset, saying like, hey, it's kind of weird that you're just like going about your life making this podcast when you have a huge audience and not addressing like the genocide in Palestine. And before you ask, why does everybody have to talk about it? Because there's a genocide happening. It's like, your funny jokes can wait. There's a genocide happening. So please watch this video. I'm sick.
A segment to put at the beginning of next week's podcast episode, addressing the situation in the Middle East. What fucking dystopian universe? Sorry, it's not funny, but it's absurd. What dystopian universe do I have to address the situation in the Middle East at the top of a podcast episode? It is literally the scene from Inside by Bo Burnham. Who are you, wheat thins? Do you stand with the Palestinians? That's how I fucking, it is, in what universe am I a voice to speak on this? I am the opposite of the person that should be speaking on this. But because I have a check mark and I have over 1 million, immediately I'm qualified. It is literally, I can't.
And she's calling it dystopian that people are asking her, a very popular social media creator with millions of followers, to speak out about the genocide of Palestinians. And she's like, why am I qualified? Because you have a platform. These are the same people that are like, if I was around during the Holocaust, like I would have never let that happen. Yes, you would have, because obviously you're letting it happen right now. And just like the way that these white creators are finding a way to victimize themselves, while children are being buried under the rubble in Gaza by the thousands. I just want you guys to be aware that when next week she begins her podcast by making a half-assed statement about how she cares about Palestinians, she absolutely doesn't give a fuck about Palestinian lives and is being forced to do that pretty much for clout and to keep her sponsorships. I'm so sorry that it's been so hard for you when people are telling you, please talk about the Palestinian genocide. I know how hard it can be to take a stand during one of the biggest ethnic cleansing we will ever witness in our lifetime. And I really hope that it gets easier for you, a white woman with millions of dollars living in America, in the safety of your home, not being ethnically displaced. I'm so sorry it's been so hard for you. Just when I thought white creators couldn't be more out of touch, Brittany Broski.
I wanted to give a full, robust, well thought out, thoughtful response on my podcast because that's my biggest platform and I was going to utilize my biggest platform. But this video kind of takes precedence really quick. I'd like to address it here. I completely understand why so many people are upset with me. I completely understand the weight of having a platform and the power of that platform and the power of silence when you have a platform. I've even spoken about this. Of course I understand. My silence hurt and confused a lot of people who love and support me. And for that, I can't tell you how sorry I am. Not in the business of making excuses. I'm really not. I'm also not in the business of virtue signaling. I waited too long to talk about Palestine. I will admit that. And it's for X, Y, and Z reason. No one fucking cares. But the important thing is to talk about it now. Of course I support the liberation of Palestinian people. Of course I do. These people have no access to food, water, medicine. It is a living hell. We are actively living through a historic humanitarian crisis. But in my mind, I was like, people don't need me to tell them that. In this video she's referencing, which is a screen recording of my close friends who I don't know, that's a separate issue. I'm talking about how absurd and dystopian it is to look to people who look like me, first of all, for news and opinions and thoughts on what's happening in Palestine. I was voicing my confusion with the situation that I find myself in. You know, like having a platform and all this. No one teaches you how to use it. And the best that you can do is speak from the heart. And that's what I try to do. I'm also acutely aware that I'm a white woman and my voice is not needed. It's just not in a lot of spaces. That close friends video, as embarrassing and humiliating as it is, shouldn't have made it, is a human moment for me. I was feeling confused as to why the fuck I have a platform to begin with. And second of all, the shame that comes from not using it properly and potentially speaking over or for people, spreading misinformation, making an already awful situation worse. There's a fear there. And no one gives a fuck about my fear, obviously, and I'm not centering myself. All of that to say, I know we have been experiencing a collective sense of helplessness, of hopelessness. And to that, I would say, as Americans, we live in an albeit flawed, a democracy. We live in a democracy where we have direct access to the phone numbers and emails and ears of our elected officials. I urge you, if you have not already, to contact your elected officials. I've been berating them. If you feel misrepresented, if you feel underrepresented in foreign affairs, I think that is truly one of the only ways to see actionable change. I'm going to put a phone number down here where you can contact your senators and your congressmen. There are scripts available online that you can follow to voice your concerns. I'm also going to include a link to Doctors Without Borders if you'd like to join me in donating. Again, it shouldn't have taken me this long. I'll be the first fucking person to admit that. It should not have taken me this long to say something. And the something I want to say is free Palestine. And call your senators. And I'm going to talk about this more on my podcast later this week. Thanks, guys.
I have a lot of thoughts about the Brittany Broski videos that I made and her response video, and I just wanted to make one video talking about it. I want to clarify, I did not make that video because Brittany hadn't spoken out yet. There are thousands and thousands of celebrities, creators that haven't spoken out yet. I only made that video because she said in her story that she was releasing a statement about Palestine, and I felt like it was ingenuine. I just wanted to make it known that I felt her message was ingenuine. I want to give a little insight as to why Palestinians are feeling the way they are, especially in this specific situation. We have gone our entire lives with people just like not giving a fuck about Palestine and feeling so like uninvolved and not caring about our survival, not caring about our resistance. And I think the reason people were like feeling upset about that is because she was like, what do I have to do with the Middle East? And it just feels so real for us, but it's just like so clear to like everyone else how little it matters. At least that's how I perceived it. And also there's like a lot of trauma in our community from just getting like invalidated for our entire lives for being Palestinian and like us screaming about how hard it is to be Palestinian while people are just like, don't give a fuck. So I think like my anger there was definitely intense in that video, but also like I'm not here to say that it was unjustified, because if you knew what Palestinians have gone through in their lives, even living in America and knowing that people really don't care, like you would understand that it's valid. So that leads me to my next thing. I just want to say to all the white people in my DMs going off on me for dogpiling on Brittany Broski, I don't care. You will never understand what it feels like to watch your people be killed every day and then to watch people be like, what does that have to do with me though? So yeah, I'm getting like the craziest messages from white people and it's like very telling. I know my video was very angry and very direct, and my videos have been because obviously there's a genocide in my country and a lot of people don't care, but I don't want cancel culture to happen here. Like, I don't want Brittany to get canceled for this. That was never my intention. So I urge everybody to go watch her video, make your own opinion about that. I will say, like, I'm very happy that she said she supports Palestine. I mean, like, that's the bare minimum, but that's literally all we want, is for people to be like, yeah, this is fucked up and this is wrong. Because we've gone our whole entire lives with people being like, nah, you guys are making it up, like, you guys are faking it. Also, like, a lot of people were saying that I was doing that for views, which, please scroll on my page. I don't need, like, drama views right now, or ever. But I've been calling out everyone who's, like, being crazy about Palestine, and I think it's time that we do so. Like I said, I've gone my entire life watching people invalidate Palestinian trauma, and now that people care, I'm no longer going to allow that to happen. Like, this is very much not the time to tell Palestinian creators how to react to the genocide in their country. And to the people being like, put this energy towards politicians. Girl, what do you think we've been doing? I'm hitting them on all fronts to, like, make political videos. What do you think I've been doing? If you took 2 seconds to go on my account, everything I've posted in the last 30 days has been about Palestine. So, in conclusion, 1, I'm glad Brittany is pro-Palestine and said that clearly. And 2, if you guys use the energy you're using to dick ride Bernie Broski my DMs to free Palestine, Palestine will be free already. So get to it. Message your politicians with that energy.
I am the opposite of the person that should be speaking on this.
Guess what's at play here? Celebrities spend a lot of time establishing power. Then when important things happen, they pull back and act as if they do not have power to change or influence.
What dystopian universe do I have to address the situation in the Middle East?
You have a platform and you have people's ear, you have their attention. How dare you not?
We got a little gaslighting.
It is a responsibility that you have.
Who are you, weak thins? Do you stand with the Palestinians?
Spend their lives trying to gain influence, and the moment we need them to actually use that influence, suddenly they don't have it. A post won't change the world.
Because I have a check mark and I have over 1 million, immediately I'm qualified.
It makes so much sense if you feel a little gaslit. If we didn't have that clip of her saying, use your platform for good, we wouldn't care as much. She has established a sense of trust with her followers that when important things happen in the world, she's going to speak out. And the fact that she didn't speak out and she's annoyed with the expectation of her to speak out, that is a betrayal. Just goes to show that you can't trust them.
Why the fuck? I have a platform to begin with.
That apology video by Brittany Broski solidified for me why I'm not going to be a supporter anymore and why I'm not going to support any influencer that chose to remain silent for this long about what's going on in Palestine. In her video, she mentions how she did know the people of Gaza didn't have food, they didn't have water or electricity, but I noticed she conveniently left out that people didn't have internet. And she was saying that she understands the weight of silence when you have a platform that big. One of the reasons that many of us started posting so much about Palestine is because they cut off the internet. And so a lot of these people didn't have a voice. So we, the people on the outside, needed to be their voice. And that whole leaked video and her close friend story was just super arrogant and it was whiny and she really wasn't trying to understand what was going on at all. You could tell from that video she didn't want to speak up because she just didn't want to. She didn't care about what was going on and didn't see the value in her input, even though her platform is built on activism. And it's clear that she's only making this video now because she's potentially going to get quote-unquote canceled for it. That whole video was just her lazy attempt to try to have accountability, and it didn't work. One of the other sinister parts of that video is that she tries to infantilize herself by saying she's just some white lady. A white lady with almost 5 million people that follow them. That is what we call white ignorance. You're trying to make us think that you don't realize the privilege that you hold and the power that your voice holds. The whole video was just the final nail in the coffin for me. She showed us exactly who she is, and if you guys continue to support her, that's your decision, but I won't.
I also wanted to make an additional point here and add this in really quick. I think it's important to mention that, like, the reason so many people, like, especially at the beginning when everything in Palestine began, so many people on social media were calling these influencers to speak out is because, when they do have a big platform, and a lot of us want to see if the people we're following and giving our time and money actually had the same morals as us or stand in the same place as us. And another thing that I thought was important to mention was that solidarity with Palestine is the bare minimum. And also, like, addressing that, like, it's not politics. Human lives are not politics. So for the, like, influencers or people that are trying to make it political, it's simply just not. And simply just saying your stance and showing solidarity. And that is what matters the most. And then what you do with your platform in order to help. And it's disappointing to see how she's handled it afterwards. She hasn't really, as far as I know, spoken about it in any of the episodes after the one she made, like, that week. And she said in the beginning, kind of reiterating what she said in her apology. But I'm just kind of like, well, can't say I'm surprised. Like, I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised. And I want to include that as well as I'm editing this. It's like 6 in the morning, and I was just like, I need to get this video out, and That was a major point I wanted to make that I forgot to mention when I was filming this episode, so yeah. What really pissed me off was, first, she said, oh, it was a close friend story that got leaked. Oh, it's not even that, it's what she said in that video. Like, what kind of dystopian world is this? We are in a dystopian, like, world and time frame and government right now. Like, you're just now learning, and just, she was being so fucking insensitive, like beyond my comprehension. And then she only apologized because she got caught, and the way she was like being like, I was frustrated because I don't understand why I have to speak up about it, or just so fucking privileged, like so privileged. And then there was a clip from her podcast. Like, I thought she was our new nation's leader. Like, I was a broski citizen, okay? I wrote for her. I thought she had our back. And then she's all like, I don't understand why. Yet, in your podcast, you said, if you do have a platform and you know about these things, why not speak up for it? And then you chose not to, and then chose to complain about it. It's giving performative. It's all performative. Like, get the fuck out of my face. Oh, I was so mad. I am so mad about it still. And then when she apologized about it, she was like, yeah, I did take too long. Yeah. Like, it was like the most half-ass accountability I've ever seen. Sorry, y'all. I gotta, like, speed run this food because it's been 30 minutes since I took those, and a bitch has gotta eat. Oh, yeah. These puppies are cold. Damn it. Fuck, what was I talking about? Fuck. Damn you, ADHD. What the fuck was I talking about? Oh. And then in her, like, apology TikTok, the comments. People, took her back so fast. And I was like, where are y'all's fucking spines? Where are they? Bitch, I have scoliosis and craniocervical instability, and even I know that was some bullshit. Like, no, y'all were not standing on business. I'm disappointed even more. Just so much, it's fucking bullshit. And then for her to be like, go watch my podcast at the end. No. And I'm not gonna lie, I did, because I was like, I just want to see what else she has to say. And I tried to listen with an open mind, but it still didn't sit right with me. And I was like, okay, unfollow, unsubscribe. I'm gonna put this energy, instead of listening to this, I'm gonna go donate. I'm gonna go share some posts. I'm gonna go call my reps. And I kind of came to a realization through, like, witnessing all of that from Brittany. Like, but this is gonna sound so hypocritical when I say it, because what I was gonna say is, we need to stop letting these white... Hello, I'm white. I know. Okay, I know. But even I hate white people, and I'm white. Like, there are so many white people that are so insufferable to me, and I'm like, I hate my own kind. But we need to stop, I'm just gonna say it, okay? We need to stop letting these white, privileged influencers speak on these things, because they have too much fucking privilege. Like, unless they're actually gonna stand for the right thing, and, like, not fucking bitch and moan about it, and actually use their platform and their audience for good. Like, because it's like these influencers, and before I became disabled, or I realized I was disabled, which I still haven't made my whole entire story video about. I've tried to film that like 4 times this month. Again, still hasn't happened. I'm going through it, okay? But before I realized I was disabled, or got sicker, I eat that shit up. Sometimes I still do. There are certain influencers I will make exceptions for. Very, very slim pickings of them, okay? But, like, all they're doing is influencing capitalism even further. And I'm just tired. I'm like, no. Let's normalize actually influencing people to make a change in the world, or, like, stop over-consuming, and actually influence people, like, in a good way, in a progressive way, in a radical way, to make change. Emphasis on the white ones. Because, oh my god. I'm just tired. I'm tired of y'all. It's not just Brittany, it's ones who haven't said anything at all. But at the same time, I'm like, well, all they care about is their own money and their own success anyways. Like, I feel like we need to just stop accepting so much from them. And I know that's disappointing, because it's like, these are people you look up to. These are people you take inspiration from. However way you know, you do, but what is it really doing for you? Is it helping you grow, or is it just keeping you in this like consumerism world? I don't know, man. I'm standing on business. I'm done with Brittany. She's canceled in my eyes. Who we really need to pay more attention to, especially regarding Palestine, it's Sarah Shower. I feel so bad. Like, Sarah baby, I am so sorry I didn't stick beside you when the podcast, the Violating Community Guidelines podcast, ended and everyone sided with Brittany. I wish I would have sided with Sarah, because her response, I like could cry. I love her so much, like, and I have like so much, like, the utmost fucking respect for her. And how she hasn't given up on it, or just, you know, gone back to business per usual, or kept her mouth shut. You know, she's really doing something with her platform. That's like, she deserves a fucking Nobel Peace Prize. Like, I love her. I think I'm done eating, so I'll stop being a little munch now, okay? I can't believe I've been filming for 45 minutes and, like, I don't know, my brain is all jumbled right now, because I'm like, do I keep talking about, like, my life? Like, I feel bad for it, but at the same time, like, I do still have a life. I kind of have to, like, manage and maintain and, like, not hit rock bottom, even though I do every month because of my PMDD. But I guess I'll say them anyways, in case anyone cares. If you don't care, that's fine too. But, okay, that's enough. That's enough. I feel so dumb because I'd forgotten I put my phone on Do Not Disturb and didn't get the notification that my food was here, so that it sat out in the cold for like 7 minutes, and that's why some of it was cold. But honestly, I don't really care about heating it up. I genuinely don't. And it wasn't even that cold, so it's like fine. I give it like a 7 out of 10. Okay? Anyways, I'm gonna have 2 of these little guys. These have become my new obsession. These are my new treat. They're Tate's Bake Shop gluten-free ginger zinger cookies. I want these served at my funeral. They're that fucking good. And one of my little POTS hacks, if you need, like, if you have, well, this is really for nausea in general. I don't know, it works for me, but especially for my POTS people, if you have nausea and, like, you haven't tried this yet, give it a shot. I'll have ginger tea, right? There's this ginger lemon tea. Excuse me. There's this ginger lemon tea I love from Bijlo Teas, okay? Have a little mug of that. Get it all nice and warm and toasty. Sometimes I put a little honey in it, and I dip these in it. Oh my god. And I'm a ginger girl. I've always loved ginger. Always eat my sushi ginger. Well, used to, because I can't really have sushi anymore. I can, but I also shouldn't, because it does fuck me up, but sometimes it's worth it, okay? But these are amazing. Yeah, do you hear that fucking crunch, bitch? Like, also I have this video on my iPad because I was watching Emergency Intercom and then I forgot I left autoplay on. Sorry about that. I wish I had a Was that English? I wish I had a microphone so I could give you a full ASMR moment. They're so good. There's like, they have a little bit of a toffee taste, and then there's a literal like crystallized pieces of ginger that are like chewy. I could literally ascend. Yeah, and they're gluten-free. Yeah, I'm gonna dip this one in my tea because I need a little sippy. This is my treat, okay? This is my treat for the night. And I dip her in there. I always have this on my nightstand because it's a necessity for me, okay? It's my ginger tea. I think also ginger is a mast cell stabilizer too, so it has a lot of benefits for me. Chef's kiss. I'm like, did my heart rate spike? It did. That's why I'm sweating right now. Now I do have to take this off because I'm sweating. Love that. I also have sweatpants and socks on, so like what was I expecting? But I don't want to get too hot because I have to turn my heating pad on for my back. That also makes me sweat. Just also, I'm not going to show you the state of my bed because you'll probably think, what the fuck? But this is just what, well, I don't know. I literally just keep all my necessities next to me in bed. And I learned recently that that's an autistic thing. It's called nesting. And I do that. I've been doing it forever. And I was like, oh. Makes makes a lot of sense. Because holy shit, I'm so fucking autistic. And I'm tired of people, oh my god, I am so sick and tired of the acoustic joke. Can y'all please come up with something more original, at least? Like, it's getting on my nerves. It's really getting on my nerves. At first I was like, haha, like it was a little funny, and now I'm just like, it's everywhere, and I'm over it. Anyways, now I'm really gonna get comfy, because like I said, my back hurts. This is just more intimate, and I like that. Okay, so let's get intimate, except not like that. Also say hi, Harold. That's literally my favorite pillow. It's so comfy. I don't know what to tell you. I know it looks weird. Okay, I know it looks weird. And I didn't purchase it myself, okay? Oh. There's an acne patch on my pants. Nice. I didn't purchase it myself, okay? So before you call me weird, it wasn't me. It was a gift for my 19th birthday. And it's probably the best gift I've ever gotten, because guess what? I sleep with it every night and it's so comfortable. So, be mad about it or don't. I don't care. And I'm thinking I'm gonna take you off your little tripod, aka my lap desk, because I am that girl that has a lap desk, okay? Because we need to stop grinding and normalize lounging and resting and laying down horizontally, okay? We do. Anyways, now I'm gonna stop going off on 50 million tangents, except I always say that and then I just end up going on 50 more. So I'm just gonna talk now about what's been going on in my life. So as I said earlier, I thought I was going to be moving, right? And obviously, well, no, not obviously, because how would you know? I'm trying to like get comfortable and I can't. Okay, I guess that's better. So as I said, I thought I was going to move, right? And the reason why is because my best friend came to visit me. What the fuck? Where are the stars at? Because that's gotta be the only... Oh, Lord help me. Oh, now you want to stay. Okay. Anyways, like I was saying, I thought I was gonna move, right? You're probably like, what happened? Why'd you think that? So, my best friend, hi bestie, if you're watching this, she came into town for Halloween. Was that actually? It was the weekend before she came to visit. We were having our girl time. That weekend was a lot of fun, and then she came back about a week later, and it was just for like a day, wasn't it? I think. And then right before she was gonna leave, we were just like driving around, because I was telling her like I was thinking of moving to her city, but us just like not living together, just me living near her. And just kind of like thinking about how I would have to plan in order to make that happen, because when you're chronically ill, you have to think about a lot more things, plan ahead for a lot more things. And so I was like just like considering it, and then she offered for me to just come live with her, and I was like, dead ass? She's like, dead ass. So then I start, trying to prepare for that. Had my mom on board with me. Another reason I wasn't posting for November was, I was looking for jobs, because I was like, okay, if I'm gonna move in with her, I'm obviously gonna have to pay rent, I'm gonna have to start saving up now. Is there any sort of remote job that I can find that would be accommodating and that I could possibly try? So I was looking at jobs, I was like on board, and then she came into town again a couple weeks later, a week later, 2 weeks later, I don't remember. I was all over the place all November, but she came back, we talked about it more, like, yes, mama, we're gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. I was like ready, like mentally and emotionally, I was ready to. Emotionally, mentally, I was like, okay, let's fucking do it. Let's fucking go. Even though I was scared, I was like, or not scared, I wasn't scared, I was more just like, there was part of me that was a little hesitant, because I know with my chronic illnesses, it would make it really hard, and like thinking about doctors and my health and all that stuff. But I was also like, okay, I have a like concierge doctor, so like it's not like I always see him in person. I haven't seen him in person yet, so I was kind of like, also there are a couple of doctors that I know of and that I would go see if I needed to. Like I keep up with all that stuff, and there was that, and then my mom was being like, you're not physically ready, like you need to get better first. And from my perspective, I'm like, there is no getting better, there is no cure, especially not for EDS. It's all just management, right? Like I've come to terms with that and acceptance. Of course I go through phases, but this phase lately, like, it's been a lot of acceptance for me, like mentally, and I'm like, girl, how the fuck did I even get here? I don't know. But I was just kind of like, I'm gonna be sick no matter where I go. Like, what? Like, no matter where I go, what I do, that's how it's always gonna be. Does that fucking suck? Absolutely. But at the same time, like, I don't know. I was just kind of like, it doesn't matter where I go. Like, I'm always gonna be. So there was that, and I was like, I just wanted to be with my bestie. I just wanted to be with my bestie, and basically it's not happening anymore. Not because of anything that like happened with her. She just got another opportunity and she took it, and so I'm really happy for her. I just am kind of like, oh, I don't know, it's been weird for me because I'm like, oh, I was so ready to do it, and then now I'm not doing it, and I'm still living with my parents, which is like fine, but also not. With me, I still have like issues at home and don't feel understood and all that stuff, but it is what it is for now. The way I'm looking at it is like, okay, that gives me more time to focus on myself, focus on what I want to do with my channel, and I don't have to get a job. I can still apply for SSDI, which I need to do. I've been putting off for so long, way too long now, and so I feel like that was just the universe's way of being like, it's not time yet. So that's how I'm looking at it. So there's that. What else has happened this past month? Lots of burnout. I've been in burnout pretty bad this month as well, with everything else going on. Had Thanksgiving. I didn't go to either of my family's house because, okay, there were a couple of reasons, which, when you're chronically ill and you don't participate in holidays, you don't owe anyone an explanation, by the way. Like, people start asking you shit. If they're, like, respectful about it, obviously, like, and their family and you trust them, like, tell them. But other times, if they're just, like, those kind of people, you don't owe them an explanation, okay? But there were a couple of reasons. So I didn't go because I thought I was going to be getting my booster that Friday, Black Friday. So I was like, I don't want to go to Thanksgiving and get any kind of sick, okay? Not just COVID, but any kind of sick, because then that puts that off. So that was reason number one. I was also in a flare because of my cycle, because normally in my like week before and week of my period, no, I'm like out of it. So I was already on the struggle bus, cramps like you wouldn't believe, like just like didn't want to do anything anyways. I didn't have it in me, like if I even did want, well, I did want to go, but I didn't have it in me. So there's that reason. And then, like I said, it was like a couple of nights before I was gonna get the vaccine, and I got Novavax, which is supposed to be like a safer option, and it's more updated to target the new variants and safer for chronically ill people. So I got that, but I didn't end up getting it that week because like a couple of nights before I knew I was going to be starting my period, but I didn't know what day it would be, because normally like I don't get it like until like 2 days after I start cramping and not 1. So like I was kind of like, can you get a vaccine on your period? This probably isn't a good idea for me, because when I'm on my period and I'm bleeding, my POTS messes with all of it. Also, trigger warning, this is like gonna be a little TMI if you like get weird about talking about periods and uteruses, even though like it's 2023, like get with the program. No, but with my POTS, losing that blood volume does not make my POTS happy, all of that. So then I ended up starting it literally on Thanksgiving Day, and was like, okay, so it's probably like the best course of action to not get this while I'm bleeding. And like people on Twitter were kind of being like, yeah, I would wait. So, because I asked, I was like, because when I Googled it, it was like very mixed answers. Like I was like, can you get a vaccine on your period? And some of them were like, you'll probably be fine. And some of them were like, don't do it. And so I was like, fuck. And then I was like, based on people's responses, I was like, okay, we're just gonna wait it out. So then I just rested a lot that week. I'm always like, I'm always here. I'm always in this bed, but spend a lot of extra time, like literally just resting, kind of just doing what I usually do. Some days I rest, some days I like do my makeup and like try to do something with my time and like make TikToks and like, you know, just like girl boss things, slay girl things. But it was not very much slay. There wasn't very much slay going on that week. And then what was I gonna say next? Oops, I forgot. Oh, and then that weekend was also really out of it, and then I ended up getting it on Wednesday of this week. I think it was Wednesday. It was either Tuesday or Wednesday. And really, I'm surprised. I was kind of scared to get it, but I also knew it was safe. But I was just kind of like, with MCAS, like it's genuinely like playing roulette. Like you never really know what you're going to react to. And I was like, well, I didn't have any reaction to my first 2 doses because I've had only gotten the first 2 doses of the Pfizer. That's all I had in me, and I knew it wasn't doing shit for me anymore. But even when you're vaccinated, you can still get COVID and you can still get long COVID. They don't fully protect you, but I knew it wasn't doing anything for me anymore. And I was like, okay, based on the wastewater data just from the summer, and then they took it away and now it's back again. They just gave it back like this past week, but I was like, this winter is gonna be hell. Like I already knew that, and I was like, I need to get this vaccine. Meow. So yeah, I got it. Surprisingly, like even though I was scared, surprisingly, no like terrible side effects besides my arm just being really sore the day of and the day after, and then that went away. Yeah, it was Tuesday. It was Tuesday, not Wednesday. Because I was like, today's Saturday. It was Tuesday. It was 4 days ago. That went away on Thursday. I did have some like mild like burning, and it was like kind of swollen, but other than that, like I was fine. I also did have well, I guess I wasn't fine. I also did have a little headache on Thursday, but I really don't think it was related to that. I think it was related to my POTS, because it was like one of my POTS headaches that I get when it's like a pressure headache, and it depends on my position, which I also think is instability with my spine, and my right shoulder blade was out of place. I can't really tell if it's back in place. My whole back hurts, so I can't really figure it out, and I'm like, fuck, like what if my scoliosis got worse? Or it's like it's curving again, because I had a back brace for a year, 2 years when I was a teenager. Shout out to Scottish Rite. But right before, I was gonna say, was it after my POTS diagnosis? And it was, but oh my god, my brain is not working. After I had turned 18, my curve got better, didn't have to wear my brace anymore. So I'm kind of scared, because I'm like, fuck, what if it curved again? But like my mom took pictures of my back, right? Because I was like, what does my shoulder look like right now? Because I could feel it was out of place. I just wanted to know what it looks like. And because she had told me, she was like, it looks like how it looked that night I noticed. Like she noticed my spine was curved when I was a teenager, right before all my problems started happening. That was like my first, I think, physical sign that you could see, like other than the panic attacks that were actually autistic meltdowns and the asthma and acid reflux issues. Like I didn't realize those were linked to my EDS and my POTS at the time, but those were the first, like I guess, physical manifestations that you couldn't really see or like know about just from looking at me. But my spine, it was obvious, and my shoulder, it was obvious, and she was like, it looks exactly like it did that night. So then that raised a red flag for me. I was like, fuck, don't fucking tell me I have to wear a back brace again, please don't tell me that. Please don't tell me that. And she took a picture of it. I think my spine looks fine. But then again, I'm like, I don't really know. I don't know. That's another thing I have to put on my list of going to look into. And it's so frustrating with, like, being COVID cautious and chronically ill is, like, knowing that the doctor's not safe. No, it's not safe there, because guess what? That's where sick people go. And I'm not talking about, well, obviously chronically ill people do go to the doctor as well, but, like, ones that aren't COVID cautious, and people that are sick with, like, the flu and RSV and COVID, which is going around more than the other two. There's also now a bacterial pneumonia going around, and people are like, oh my god, why is this happening? It's not clicking for them that, like, hey, remember when the government was like, oh yeah, you're gonna be fine if you get COVID a couple times? Yeah, they lied. Your immune system is fucked. That's why all of these new viruses are mutating. And I'm like, hello? Hello, where is anyone's, like, critical thinking? Oh. You guys don't have that. You guys don't have that? Couldn't it be me? Could it be me? Yeah, it sucks, like, knowing that I need to go to the doctor about these things, but until universal masking in healthcare settings is implemented, it's not safe there. So I just stay home. And it shouldn't have to be that way. Because even doctors don't have these fucking critical thinking skills. Like, I don't think people realize how bad fucking healthcare is in the US. It's absolute bullshit. The whole system needs to... She needs to glow up. She needs to glow up, bitch. Like, holy shit. And that's a whole other topic for another episode. But, yeah, that's been going on. What else? I've been watching a lot of Gossip Girl. Rewatching, because November and December, I think, are the best... I was gonna say seasons. Girl, are the best months to watch Gossip Girl. Just in my opinion, okay? I've been... Because that's one of the easiest things you can do. If you really want, like, to make some sort of impact when it comes to Palestine and all of the other locations that terrible things are happening, is the easiest thing you can do. What else? I'm crying a lot this month. Especially the PMDD. Like, girl, I hate her. I hate her so much. And thankfully, knowing, like, about my MCAS as well, I know that antihistamines are, like, the biggest thing that helps me when it comes to PMDD flares, but I still struggle, and I still be crying, like, uncontrollably, and it's so annoying, like, Sometimes when I think about talking about it, I'm like, I don't want to, like, further, like, contribute to, like, the conception that a lot of, like, misogynistic individuals have about women or, like, PMDD, or thinking it's just being emotional. It's so much fucking worse than that. Like, you have no idea. You have no idea. It's, like, actually hitting rock bottom. It's actually so much suffering. It's actually, like, being severely depressed and suicidal. Like, the magnitude of it is so heavy and painful. It's not just, like, being a woman and being emotional. No, it's like hell. And yet I still get treated like, oh, she's just emotional, she's on her period. No, like, it's 10 times worse than you would think being emotional is. Not even 10 times, like, at least 100 times. And I'm not even saying that to be like, oh my god, like, I suffer so much, like, I've gotten used to it isn't the right term, but it's the easiest way to explain it. Like, I'm just kind of like, it's just how it is. But I talk about it because there simply just needs to be awareness and education, and people need to use their brains, and yeah. But a lot of crying, a lot of burnout, a lot of existential dread. Oh, I didn't tell you guys this. I did film a Halloween episode, or like an episode on Halloween night. I'm probably still going to post that, even though it might seem a little off. I'll include it as a bonus this month. But yeah, I talked about this in that episode. Did I? I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did. But I'm not in school anymore. But yeah, I dropped my classes because I simply just couldn't keep up with them. And you're probably like, girl, 2 classes? Well, imagine being in 2 classes and chronically ill and trying to manage everything with your doctors, and also like thinking about moving, and also this and also that. Like, I just could not. It was also like making my burnout more severe, and while it was interesting and enjoyable somewhat, there was something in me that was just like, this isn't right for me. But yeah, I dropped my classes. I did have a little bit of a crisis after dropping them as well, before and after. But I think it was what I needed to realize, okay? And now I'm like, I can dedicate all of my time to this. Like, for real, for real. Now that I'm not moving. I know I'm stuck here. But that's fine though. I can learn. Like, I really want to dedicate 2024 to grounding myself and also moving forward, still pursuing what I want to pursue in life, and still adapting to all of the challenges that come with being chronically ill, and also healing some of my trauma. I think I definitely need to just like slow down and really, really, really focus on me this year. And it's December 2nd. Like, it's so fucking crazy that it's already the end of the year. Like, I feel like it was just January and then I blinked. And what do you mean I'm 22 now? What do you mean by that? Like, that's so weird to me. I don't even feel 22 at all. And I don't even feel like it's gonna be 2024 at all. Shit's crazy. Yeah, I think I really just want to, like, chase my fucking dreams this fucking year when and however I can. And also do so much work when it comes to making educational videos about chronic illnesses and disability justice. I want to do something impactful, or at least start trying to, more than what I already am. And also just focus on me, focus on what I want, focus on getting my financial shit in order, because oh my god, every time I think about it, I want to have a panic attack, and I don't want to feel like that anymore. And yeah, just kind of go into like a little bit of a hermit moment, even though that's already what I've been in, but like in a sad way. I want to go into a hermit moment in like a good way, a positive, healthy way. Even though I'm not healthy myself, I'll always be chronically ill, right? I can still create healthy habits, okay? I can still do that. I feel like that's a limiting belief I really need to work on as well. And one of the main ones that's holding me back is being like, oh, I'm chronically ill, so I can't do that. Or I'm chronically ill, so what's the point? Anyways, you know, like, I am so quick to think I have to limit myself or doubt myself because I'm chronically ill. And it's like, just because I am doesn't mean I don't deserve to, like, pursue what I want to pursue, you know? And I think that's something it's taken me a long time to realize, and I still, like, don't grasp that sometimes, and that's something I really want to work on. Not giving up on Palestine or Congo or Sudan or any of the other places. I will always stand with Palestine, always stand with Congo, always stand with Sudan, always stand with all of the other places. I'm still educating myself, so that's why I'm saying all of the other places. But there are so many other places where terrible things are happening, and the easiest thing you can do to help those places is if you're looking for somewhere to start. Again, resources down below. And I think that's gonna be the end of this. Y'all got a long ass episode this time, so I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope I provided some sort of education or value to you today, and I love you guys very much. Thanks for sticking around if you have. If you do want to see more of me, you can follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, like, if you want, and I'll leave all of those below. Again, as many resources as I can down below, and subscribe if you like me. If you want to be besties, I want to have so many besties, so if you want to become my bestie, subscribing is the best way to do it, and it's free as well, so that's like kind of a slay. And yeah, I love you guys very much. I will see you in the next one. Bye.